Yep.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Shock Therapy Toys, the podcast from Shockanaut Toy Reviews. I am Wilson, one of your hosts, joined by
The voice.
Toast, the man who has the voice for any podcast at any time. I'm telling you, someone will steal you away if this podcast ever becomes big. I'm not joking. Like, someone will be like, we just need to get him in here to talk about cakes. Okay, yeah. So this episode we will be discussing a topic. This is the topic show. We just talk stuff. There's nothing really to see. One of the ideas when we started this, and I sort of had an idea for it, and it comes in this has to do with therapy being in the name, sort of a chance for us to, when we discuss things, also get things off our chest, things we may be irritated by, or just how certain mental things have affected us. So that's going to come into play for a couple of things here. First, I want to talk Todd McFarlane, because this man has driven me insane. I hate him, I love him, but he's driven me insane with the last couple of tweets he's got.
I'm very curious.
So first tweet, and we discussed this, right? First tweet, he's starting off and he's talking about he wants to promote the gold label stuff, right?
Sure.
He's got his mask on. He starts talking like, hey, everybody, Todd McFarlane here. And then we got that. And he goes, well, and he points to his mask. He's like, everybody be safe and wear your mask, Immediately takes it off right after he says that.
Yep.
All right, Todd, whatever. You're Todd, fine. And then he goes on to talk about all the gold label. It's gold label, right?
Yeah.
Not gold sticker. So, and that's the Walmart exclusive stuff?
Yes.
So he talks about this, and he shows the first one, which is the Warhammer one, and it's like red and gold, and it looks great.
Yes.
I'm so excited for it. I'm like, oh, he's doing something different. Bring it on. And he goes, then also we got the Red Death, and he brings out Red Death, all gold.
Yep.
That's it. That's the only thing special about it. And then he goes, and for Spawn fans, and my ears perk up. I'm like, yeah, what is it? We got a gold label exclusive. And all it is anything red or white on Spawn is now yellow. It's not even gold.
No.
You, Todd.
It's a terrible looking Spawn toy.
It's such a bad. But you know what? It comes with the mace. I'd like to have a mace. I'm not f***ing around. I kind of would like to have a mace. I don't know. I'll just,
so you're gonna get the yellow Spawn?
No, I'll probably just have Berg print me up a mace if I.
That makes more sense.
He's already printed me up like a gun for him.
Has he not already molded or modeled a mace?
He's done an axe.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, he did an axe especially for me. I don't know if he's done a mace in general. Regardless, I don't need.
He's currently doing a foot for me.
Yeah, see, he's got projects.
Yeah.
He's a busy fella. So no, that was just it. And then you were telling me too about like he's lost his mind because you're talking about like he was talking about getting his hair cut or something.
Did you see that video?
I still haven't found.
Oh
it yet.
man, it's so good.
Is it?
Yeah.
And then my last complaint with him is he's been making these videos talking about the Spawn Kickstarter and how they're shipping out.
Yeah.
But also for us to go ahead and vote as the Spawn Kickstarter Toy of the Year.
Right.
You, Todd, I haven't even gotten my toy yet. I can't tell you if it's Toy of the Year.
Yes.
You want me to go vote on something that I don't even know. Plus, you know what? I chose my top 5 already. You can see that at youtube.com/Shockanaut Toy Reviews if you want to see our top 5 toys of 2020. But yeah, it's like, Todd, why don't you wait till they get in our hands? Like,
right.
I mean, you squeeze that in at the end of 2020 and you're telling us to vote for that as the year, the Toy of the Year?
Yeah.
I don't think that many people have even gotten their shipments.
No.
I got the trilogy pack, and he says mine should be coming out.
I thought he said the trilogies were coming last.
Look, don't
like
spoil my night.
The single packs were shipping out first.
Look, listen. All I'm saying is the first one to arrive at my house is mine. Because I got Berg's coming too.
Oh, okay.
So he's got one, and I think we did our orders together before you bailed.
Yeah.
On it.
Uh-huh.
But that was it. I just need to get that off my chest. Like, he's pissing me off with some of these things. It's like, just get me my Spawn toy and stop with the gold. Just stop it. Like, do the Warhammer one.
You mean
something like that?
The like all gold repaints?
Yes.
Okay.
Just do something like the Warhammer one. I don't know why you would want an all gold one other than it's like you think it's going to be worth something.
It was a separate character. I thought you read that story.
What story? The Red Death?
No, yes, but
I did.
the original Dark Knight's Metal.
I did.
Okay.
I don't remember there being gold.
He was.
He was? All right, well, look, I don't need... They call him the Gold Death. What the... He was gold?
I don't know.
Or are you making that shit up?
No. It's for real.
So what? No, just say it, Dan.
Once Bruce Wayne is expunged from his body, he turns back into Barry Allen of that whatever Earth he came from, and that makes him gold, and then he's good, and he helps the Flash defeat the Mercenaries.
But he's not the Red Death gold, though.
Not any. Well, but he looks exactly the same. He literally just turns from red to gold. He's like, I'm not Bruce Wayne anymore.
Well, that's been Superfan Dan helping me out, not feel so stupid.
So literally,
Studio audience member.
He was gold.
Okay,
so technically, with this one, it's not like the yellow.
Okay, fine. He did He did bronze, right? Didn't he bronze some of them?
Of the Arkham Joker and yeah.
Okay, so he bronzed those things. All right. Enough about Todd. Let's move on to the real topic.
Yes.
So, keen-eyed viewers of Shaka Not Toy Reviews, youtube.com/Shaka Not Toy Reviews. Like how I get that in there. We'll notice that, how many months ago? 2? Was it December?
I thought it was November, maybe.
Maybe November. There weren't reviews that went up for like 2 or 3 weeks.
Yes.
And that was because, again, bringing it back to the therapy, I had a mental breakdown. This was not at all really related to the channel at all. I've always dealt with mental health issues ever since, for the longest time, since early high school at least. And every now and then, especially in the winter, I just lose it. And this time, I've taken medication and stuff, so I for whatever reason, was getting so sick and tired of stuff, stopped taking meds. Couldn't sleep because I always can't sleep and I have problems with that. And then on top of that, real life work was going shitty. And then I was just like, you know what? I got in my funk and I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not editing stuff. Screw toys. I don't need toys anymore. And I went and I did what I've told you guys is the great purge and canceled almost every pre-order that I had. Almost every single one, except ones that maybe I couldn't because it required a down payment kind of thing.
And for you, if people don't know, that would have been a long list.
That
right?
was definitely, it was from Big Bad Toy Store alone, it had to be at least 30 items.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was a big purge. And then I sort of came to, it lasted a couple of days.
So it started.
Yeah, you go on, because you were aware of it. Yeah.
Well, it started for Berg and I as a text message.
Yeah.
The channel's done. I'd have to pull it back out again, but we're just like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, and it's one of those things is I'm very much I don't necessarily always think things through. I like to get an idea in my head, and then I'm like, if I think that's a good idea, I'm like, let's go. And I don't always discuss it with people. And that wasn't fair to you, and it wasn't fair to Berg to just say, we're done, that's it, didn't try and work anything out. So I'm sorry on that part. But it lasted probably 2 or 3 days of serious, screw this, right? And then I kept thinking, well, you know what? For example, the boss fight Sam and Max.
Yeah.
I was like, they were on pre-order for at least a year. I go, I deserve those things. I deserve to have those. I'm pre-ordering them again. And I'm glad I did because they're awesome.
They are awesome.
And then I went back. But ever since then, though, I have been more consistent and more noticeable about what I pre-order, especially third-party Transformers. I canceled my pre-order for Chrome Dome and Rewind from Mastermind Creations.
Okay.
Not getting them. After talking to you, I was like, he's right. This is kind of garbage. And a couple, just other things. I'm not going and seeing things. I'm more wary of first-time companies now from third party.
Are you still getting those toilet Transformers?
Yes.
Okay. For sure.
Of course.
Yeah.
I got the black one that's coming out that's I don't know if he's a urinal. It doesn't matter. Yes, I am.
Okay.
I can't wait to have a full bathroom set that transforms into all nasty looking robots and shit.
the urinal and the toilet.
I have the urinal. I have
and the one
toilet.
on the floor.
Yeah, that's going to be the next one. Is like the hole in the floor. And then I just need a shower, and I think like a vanity setup. But anyways, so that's been it. Like I find that my mental health spills over into my hobbies, and I think that's just kind of a natural thing. Is like that happens, and then things aren't as fun anymore, and you just just kind of didn't care, But then I started caring. The more I talk to like you guys and other people who care, then I'm like, okay, there's some more stuff. But I have been a lot more conservative with my pre-orders and stuff.
That's probably for the best.
Yes, for me it certainly is, because also I've been putting stuff up in the basement, and it's just like so much stuff. I just keep buying shelves that I have to put together. So at some point it's got to stop. And that's another question that you have to ask yourself too. Is like, when do you stop collecting?
Okay.
And I think we discussed that at some point.
Yeah, and we'll probably wind up doing it again.
Yeah.
But so you sent that text.
Yeah.
And I think Berg was the first to respond supportively.
Supportively? You sure? That doesn't sound like him.
I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
He said something like mental health comes first.
Okay, yeah.
And
yeah,
it's fine. And I know him and I have talked a few times on the weeks when you're not here.
Mm-hmm.
And that was one of those weeks, because it came out on like a Saturday.
Yeah.
Is when you sent the text. And then I was here the following Wednesday. You weren't. And so him and I were talking, and that might have already been after you two played Predator. and you were already like talking your way back into it.
Yeah, I was sort of talking myself back into like liking toys again.
Right.
Like, well, except.
So at the time, neither one of us had any idea what was going on with you.
Yeah.
But we were like, so this is something I've said to him a few times. Like, I'm fine with just showing up, buying my comics, and going home. Or if we want to do reviews and talk about stuff, I'll do that. Like, either way, I'm fine.
Right.
So you're the one that has to do most of the work as the editor.
Yeah.
So,
and that was another thing. I was just like, man, these guys can't do anything except show up, and I'm the one here editing this bullshit. And I was like, that's not fair to them. Like, I'm the one that took on this responsibility. That's all me. But I think also starting the audio-only podcast helped me out a little bit, not only because it's easier, but it's also more of like a new thing and something that I wanted to do at some point, either with somebody else on a completely different subject or this. So I'm pretty happy about that. Not to say that I don't want to keep doing toy reviews, but they can be tedious.
Well, we made some changes to the format.
And that too, yes. There needed to be some changes in terms of length of time.
And we sped up the articulation.
They sped up the articulation because I find that that's probably like my least favorite and probably the most boring. And I don't think every time that you show a human NECA figure, you got to go through the same things every single time.
There's generally, so with Hasbro and NECA and most of the big names, their bodies are basically the same.
Yeah, exactly. So it's no point in it. We only really want to point out differences, I guess, in what we've seen.
Right.
And if anybody out there disagrees, feel free to email us at shocktherapytoys at Gmail.
Yes.
Let us know what you think, because we have actually gotten a couple of topics, ideas sent in from somebody. We'll be looking at doing those hopefully soon in the future, more comic book related.
Yes.
But Toast, how has, like, because I know, I'm not saying you're crazy, but I know you have also gone through and purged pre-orders before, and I was wondering, what is it that has made you do that? Is it any kind of mental thing, or is it more just like, I jumped the gun on this and don't want to? I know you've canceled pre-orders out of spite, which I find amazing. It's got to be one of my favorite things about you, is you're just like, I'm going to show this company, not buying your thing. Yeah.
So I think most recently I canceled the Super 7 Bebop and Rocksteady.
Oh, really?
I would like a Bebop and Rocksteady, and I didn't like NECA's, specifically Rocksteady.
Okay.
I thought Bebop looked fantastic, but Rocksteady has this gut overflowing from out the bottom of his shirt, and I'm like, that's not.
He's always had that though. Not yours?
I'm more used to IDW where he's like buff.
Ah, gotcha.
He's imposing, and this is like hunched over, fat spilling out. I'm like, this isn't right.
Okay.
So I skipped those, and I was gonna get the Super 7 ones, and then I'm like, I don't need that.
Expensive.
I'm fine. Like whatever, fine.
Right.
If it's just 2,
Right.
this is something we talked about last week with Sam and Max. I'm like, I'm just gonna get 2. As far as villains go, I'll have the 4 heroes. I'll have a spot saved if there's ever a Slash.
Oh, right.
And I could just have Bebop and Rocksteady.
Yeah.
And then I said, it, no.
No. Just
Like I don't need them either. So for me, it's always a fight. I think Berg and I talked about this in the comic podcast episode about we are hoarders.
Mm-hmm.
And this is something I've known about myself for a long time. And I try to fight against it, and it's usually a losing battle. But occasionally my brain snaps into place and I'm like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
And then I get rid of pre-orders for things that I don't really want or don't really need. Because I'll pre-order things, and it's a fear of missing out. It's like, oh, this is really cool. Sort of like toilet transformers.
Exactly.
Like, this is really cool, but I don't really need it. I'm not going to pre-order toilet transformers.
So you should, though. If you were actually talking
I will admit, they're very cool.
They are amazing. The one actually shoots its plunger.
That's, oh, man. That's so good. Is that the detachable face that becomes like a pelvis? And then the nose is the penis? Is that it?
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
One of them has like a...
Oh, no, the nose is a mask.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
But I thought you could move it.
I'd have to try.
Anyway.
I never thought about getting that perverse with
Cut
it.
all that out.
I don't think so. So have you ever now pre-ordered something, canceled that pre-order, and then gone back and then re-pre-ordered it again? Like triple guessed yourself, I guess? Second guess, triple?
I haven't. I guess I've second guessed myself.
Okay.
Triple guess.
Yeah.
The only one that I've considered is Snake Eyes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The Hasbro one?
Yeah.
Really?
Because it is a good toy.
Yeah.
It looks good.
Yeah.
I don't need it,
Yeah.
so I canceled it.
Okay.
I'm like, it still looks good.
It still looks good. Still good toy. Yeah. Yeah. See, I've had that problem.
I just remembered the Spite. You were talking about Spite, and I couldn't remember what you were talking about.
Yeah, tell us about that, please.
The Mafex Miles Spider-Man
Yeah.
got delayed so many times.
He still isn't out. And
There's a couple reviews. I think he
there?
might be out.
Oh, I haven't got mine yet.
Anyway, so
better make sure I didn't cancel that pre-order.
it was probably November or December.
Yeah.
I got another delay notification email, and I'm like, F it. This is the last time. I'm just canceling.
Now, were you ever going to get any of the others or just Miles?
I have the Amazing Spider-Man that we
No, I'm talking about from
reviewed
that one though.
a couple of years ago
I'm talking about from that movie though.
from the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, so they're doing the Peter Parker,
I was gonna skip him.
and then Spider-Gwen with a Spider-Ham.
I have not pre-ordered, but she's extremely tempting.
She is. I don't remember if I pre-ordered her or not, but I know I got the Miles.
I might just get the Hasbro Peter B.
I'll bring him in if you're interested because I got that whole.
I think it might be good enough without paying import prices.
I find that I was going to get the Peter B, and then I canceled that, and then I find that the Marvel Legends one is good enough. But
I've already got a Gwen. I don't know if I need another one.
Yeah, this one's a lot different.
Right.
So, but I am looking forward to the Mafex one because I really want one that can get that awesome pose from the poster where he's like falling. It looks like he's falling up. It's just they twisted the camera. Movie's great.
Did you talk enough about coming back from that point?
I did it. So, coming back from that point, I think it was one of those things where once I finally got myself in here and doing it, I realized how much I really do enjoy it. And
So it wasn't just talking with friends about toys over Predator?
No, it was not fully, but I mean that thing that started it, and that was like, oh, that camaraderie and that kind of just like back and forth. I enjoy that. That's part of the hobby for me.
Yeah.
It's coming in here and doing this and talking about it with you guys and everything. That's part of the fun. And so when I came back in here, and I think we maybe reviewed, I brought it in and I was like, you know what? I don't think I'll be part of the reviews. I'll edit them and maybe just jump in. But I was like, really let you guys take the reign a little more.
The next time I saw you, you were talking about we could start it up again, but there's going to need to be changes. And articulation was one of your points.
Yeah. I did a lot of thinking of like, okay, well, if I'm going to make this editing easier on me, I need to shorten up things. Our reviews are always going to run a little longer just because we have 2 or 3 people, but there's just sections I felt like just needed to be shortened up, and I think we've tightened it up as pretty well. We could still work on it, but that was the original thing. I came back with ideas for changes. I kept myself out of it for a little bit because what I found too is it's actually more interesting for me to edit something that I'm not even part of.
That makes sense.
Because I can sit there and listen and be like, oh, this is cool.
Right.
You know? Only problem is I usually have to listen to the whole thing, whereas if I'm part of it, I know, oh, this 5 minutes I can just skip.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You know? But I think, again, coming back, doing it with you guys, talking, that sort of brought it back. And also, you know, I got worked out mentally.
Was there a change in medication?
There was.
Okay.
The change was I went back on it. That was one of the changes, and I've still been going ever since then. I've been going through different medicine changes, so I'll get sick from coming off of one or something, and I still have my bad days, but for the most part I've evened out, and hopefully there won't be anything like that again. But
how many toys do you have on pre-order
right now? Give me a minute.
I think I have 7.
Oh, I got more than that. I for sure at least have 1 or 2 from Planet Steel Express.
Make that 9. No. Because I think it's 7 at Big Bad Toy Store, and then I've got 2 from Planet Steel Express.
Yeah, see, that's the thing is I don't know from all the websites. You know, I got like just looking at Big Bad Toy Store right now, I got 1, 2. I got 16. Now, a lot of those are upgrade kits. Some of it's like model stuff.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm not making excuses, but that's what it is. And then, you know, I did end up pulling the trigger on that Orion Pax from Mastermind Creations.
Okay.
Because I just want to have a toy that can touch its toes.
It's a very cool looking toy.
Spider-Man. Not like that. Just because he can sit and touch his toes. Jesus.
Not the
I'm
same.
talking about standing over. Something I can't even do myself. Stand and touch my toes. Can you do that? I'm sure you can.
Probably.
Yeah, you could probably.
I haven't tried in a while.
You could probably fit your head up your own I would bet. Suck your own Were you the one kid in high school that could suck his own that figured out, like, I can do it if I wanted?
There was one kid. No, it wasn't me.
Okay. Well, on that note, thanks for listening. Please give us a 5-star or some kind of review on iTunes. You can find us on iTunes, Google Play, and Spotify. And email us at shocktherapytoys@gmail.com if you have any ideas for topics for the show. And as always, thank you for listening, and we will talk to you next time.